Yo, what is up, my motherfucking fiends? We got a very, very spicy and interesting gameplay for you today. It is a Paleo, but as you guys can see here, it's Labrynth Paleo. I actually was doing this before Josh Schmidt. I think he just put up a video now at the time of me recording this. These gameplays are from a couple weeks ago. But yes, this is a casual gameplay. I guess my friend Mihech, is playing Generaider, Invoked. So super fun matchup all the way around. This gameplay was just like really fucking awesome. It was great gameplay back and forth. He also opened the nuts. We played a bunch of games. He opened the nuts every fucking time. So when he didn't, he opened evenly. So shout out to me. But yeah, we got some pretty sick mills actually with this. And you'll really see a lot of the synergy between the Labyrinth cards and the Paleo in this instance. Although I think eventually it is a good idea to take out the Chandelier and the Kuklok. I think Arias might just be better than Kuklok, but unless you go from like a perspective where you build like a full 40 card Labyrinth and then you add 20 cards of Paleo and normal trap support, then I think Kuklok might make more sense. But Backjack is... You don't want too many monsters, right, if you're using Reasoning, is my point. So then, at that point, you wouldn't be a Reasoning-based deck. And you gotta think about how you would be milling stuff. So, anyway, so how are we gonna break this board and fuck him up and ruin his life? So, here we're gonna try taking one of those. Take a Needlebug that we can activate now because we use Kuklok. Yep, I thought of that ahead time. Mill another 5. Not bad. Go into Anima Lucaris and pop one. Oh yeah, Daruma was pretty sick. Is that what I did last turn, or was that Canadian? I booked them, Daruma. Yeah, Daruma makes everybody eat shit. And here I just make a Zeus. 4 material Zeus. I didn't need to crash the Anima, to be honest. It would have been nice to have another body to bounce to hand. But I don't know. It doesn't matter too much. So here I'm going to do this on the clock because I know I'm going to be able to link Karibo. And here was my first mistake against this gameplay. Or against my friend here. I shouldn't have even let them get into the Xyz material. So now this game, it should have been a done deal. Now we're going to have trouble because they could quick effect attach. It's all part of the Leviathan effect, as you can see here still, to attach up to the amount of materials it had. So you're just going to have 2, so you can attach 2 materials when it brings out the Jormungandr. So they're just yonking my shit up, but because I went into a transaction, they gave me a free transaction. Homie gave me a free transaction, so that was pretty sick. And there goes their second generator, so here I'm going to trap trick and get rid of that bitch-ass Custer of a field. We're not doing this no more. Mia thought that he made a mistake setting World Legacy Monstrosity. He wouldn't have known that I was going to out that necessarily. I don't think he necessarily misplayed. And then attached there, you saw what he got off of that, and then I thought I hit the nuts. I was like, oh, I got fucking Reasoning, bro. Like, this game is so over. You know what I mean? I'm just talking my shit. I'm milling all the good cards. Ariana, I don't know if Ariana's not good with Reasoning. I should say that. I think Ariana and Palos could work together. I think Ariana and A might even be better. But in this instant, it worked out, right? Because it gave me a lot of bodies and being able to Chaos Angel the last monstrosity, which is why he thought it was a mistake to set it. And because we were each at 1 card, he evenly couldn't activate, right? So I didn't know that he had it yet. I had no way of knowing. So that's what they're able to do with their board there. I'm like, okay. Let me just bounce that fucking dumbass card. See ya. It's banished because it was brought back to the field. I was like, ooh, Nadira's Servant. Ooh, I'm going to mill 5. Feeling great. Oh my goodness. I guess mill 5, feel alive. That's what we're saying. Staying alive. This is going to be probably just 4 replays because these fucking games last forever. Also, I could have killed Miha there. I didn't attack with Dogmatica because he was like, bro, homie draw. I'm like, All right, bro, sounds good. And after I leave the battle phase, I'm like, motherfucker, I see an evenly trigger there at the end of the battle phase. I'm like, okay, is that what's going on here? I thought we were friends, motherfucker. I thought we were friends. Okay, okay. I don't know why I did that. Because I already used the big welcome bounce, so I must have forgot about my own effect. So it would have been much better. Wait, how did I add clock? Oh, was it off of furniture? Yeah. I shouldn't have activated. I should have just held it for next turn. It didn't matter too much. I mean, him top deck into fucking Ash mattered a lot. Uh, so I think, do I even bother? Oh, I don't even bother trying to big welcome. Cause they banished my lovely. What happened to my lovely? I don't fucking know. But evenly hits. I have to get rid of all my fucking shits. Here goes another Leviathan. It brings back my Lost Wind, though, and my RS trigger, because they triggered in response to the normal trap and grave, which is a pretty cool interaction. So they yoink those. And I put myself in RS, so it's like not like the worst, because I could bounce my own RS and trigger all my furniture effects, which is pretty fun. Kind of the point. Yes, this looks good with Shanga, but because there's two different ones, but I don't know. You pretty much just want to stick with the level 2, right? Because you want the synergy with the Paleos. At this point, I'm just playing Labrynth with, like, extra steps in between. And he was like, this looks awesome. This deck looks great. I was like, I don't know, man. I think I just also got lucky against you, you know? And this is like a, you know, over-representation of, like, it putting in work, I feel like. Because you'll see the rest of the replays. Like, it can put in work, but I feel like it's better to trim down and see how the Paleo stuff works. Maybe work in the middle. Because I think a lot of the weaknesses of the Paleo deck are just like what Josh Smith says of like getting past your turn 2 or turn 3, depending if you start first or second. And then after that, you have like the best grind game in the game. Also, go fuck yourself. Pop the last one in hand. Yeah, just get fucking owned. I didn't really talk too much about that turn when I was putting on a clinic, but I had a pretty much big brain fucking Link 2, bring back the lovely, and do a bunch of stuff. I don't know. My homie got owned, so I don't want to talk too much shit because it was a great game, and he owned me fucking other gameplays, other replays where he evenly for my life savings. Well, that was a weird delay. Let's get on to the next one. Yeah, holy shit, we do we do not have enough time to do more than like 3 more. So speaking of 60 card Labrynth, this was hilarious. They also pot of prosperity in this show. They also had grass, so because we're both at 60, this grass wasn't going to do much at first. But they were able to mill enough for this to have a little bit of impact. Oop, I should have just slowed it down there, but that's all right. I'll talk about why this one was an instant scoop against this and why I had the better Labrynth 60 card deck version. With grass, I mill transaction and evenly. And my opponent was smart enough to know just to scoop there because I would have just went end of battle phase evenly for the entire board because I have no cards on my field. And it's the end of battle phase. Transaction can copy that effect. I've done it on all my other Labrynth videos, so please check those out. And this fucker just didn't want to have fun. Didn't want to see me banish their entire field. So, nice little, very, very brief, blunt, short one to pair with that longer one. Okay, so this is a fun one against Unchained. This could normally be a nightmare matchup for a lot of back row decks, right? Because they could pop a bunch of fucking times. And reasoning technically special summon, so they're able to negate with Wave High King Caesar. That's fucking cringe. I set 5. I set the transaction because I figured they're going to pop it, right? It's Unchained. However, our Paleos are unaffected by monster effects. This was also a mistake for me. I thought they were going to link off with the Rhino. I mean, they might have, but I should have just waited. Should have just held on to that Paleo. But here I'm just like, oh, let me just get a Paleo on the field. Let me just get that transaction in now. And get that second Paleo in there. Yeah, people are unironically running Morella now because this is the one that is the foolish burial goods for the transaction rollback. So it's also just probably good in regular Labrynth as well. It's a little bit of synergy with Lady as well. So here at IDP, they negate that, right? Because it's special summons. I did it on purpose. They made it an effect. And here is one misplay of mine that turns into a great play. Oh, also, that's why I set the rollback, right? I'm like, thanks for the second rollback. Awesome. Because it wasn't guaranteed, right? I didn't think they were going to pop it, but you could say, yes, your Paleos are unaffected by monster effects. My opponent didn't know that yet. I say yet because they just did it right there. They just tried to link off here once, and then they target, and I chain rollback to do IDP because I get fucking spooked. So I'm like, oh yeah, let me just get rid of those two. He's not gonna link. Links into the red one, the Anguish. They try it again, and it doesn't work. So that was 2 times they tried to do something that didn't work, and I felt like a fucking moron. I was like, oh Jesus, I misplayed so hard, but then that forced them to put all that effort into linking that off, so it worked out a little bit. And here they're gonna try to pop again, so that's like 3 times. There might even been a 4th time they try to do something, you know, but that was just really funny. They're like struggling here. They cannot do anything to the Paleos on the field. It's fucking hilarious. And then they just scooped prematurely, but man, they got put in the fucking hole. So they scooped off of me bringing back the transaction, and then I was just gonna be cycling between the transactions between Leon Coilia and Morella, right? And I could have I don't know if I had Daruma Cannon in the grave or not, but I had Trap Trick, right? So I also drew into Daruma for turn, so it was like so over, so unbelievably over. I don't think I could have beat over anything. Maybe with the Animal Akaris, because what was on the field? We had Abomination, and then was it just this dipshit that was on the field? Yeah. If I was able to get into Animal Akaris, I could have done something, but I also could just held, you know, stuck tight. Daruma next turn, send both their links to the grave. Like, it is what it is. He ate shit. All right, finally going first. I forgot what this fucking felt like. It's been so long. As you saw there, the D shifter was cringe as fuck, and I was like, oh god, what am I gonna do? I'm like, what am I actually gonna fucking do? Let me just set Woboku, activate at the beginning of the phase, let it get banished. I mean, they're not gonna kill me, right? Unless they were playing burn. And go figure. As soon as the Dimensional Fisher came down, I was like, oh, it's either Exorcist or Floo, and I see them with the Pot of Duality. I'm like, Floo. So yes, I think Floo going second, or I guess first, but then Floo has OTK power, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So if I didn't have Woboku, they probably could have found a line to OTK me here, I think. At least that's what my friends were saying, because I don't really respect this deck, because I don't really care about their lines. I just know Empen's crazy. And you're going to see some misplays against Empen. Empen is still kind of a crazy card. I can't believe they printed. They gave me 2 kisses on the cheek. 2 pecks on the cheek, right? Because they're birds. And then we slow it down here a little bit. Okay. So, reasoning. Pretty fucking good. No Ash. Feeling amazing. Let's see how many we fucking mill here. Don't care about the grass. Lots of payloads in the grave. That's what you want to see. Hopefully we get maybe a transaction. Maybe a transaction plus evenly would be crazy. There's a transaction. I'm chilling. Into Lady. So that's something I didn't even consider. I'm like, this is pretty fucking good. And I set cards so they can't target anything with Lady. I also put her into attack position, which was a fucking stupid moronic mistake. I don't fall for it right away. I realize it in the battle phase. I'm like, oh, I'm a fucking moron. So I bounce Lady, and I don't trigger Lovely Effect because I also special summon that into attack position like a fucking moron. So here I bounce their Empen. I was able to do both of those effects, right? Because I transaction for the Big Welcome and Grave, and then I use the Big Welcome to bounce that. If I would have done that in the battle phase with this in defense and the Lady in attack, I could have swung for 3k potentially. So here I try to do the effect. They have an imperm for me anyway, and that lets me trigger my Paleo and Grave, which is like pretty fucking cool. And we're like, okay, like I take that. Like I still have a bunch of cards. I have Needlebug's Nest too, and I'm gonna get another Paleo. Oof, mill into another roll. Oh, I'm just built different. And then Leon Colia, that's what Josh was saying too. Like these were the worst Paleos, Morella and Leon Colia. Now they're like the best, Colia. So it's just like, it's awesome. I'm putting the Big Welcome back in Grave, so I have another bounce, or another Big Welcome. But obviously my board is full. So I just opt to bounce my own Lady so I can pop their back row. And they fucking scoop. I never destroyed that fucking hard against Floo before, going second. Or no, I went first. Yeah, I went first. I get whatever. It felt like I was going second because they fucking dimension shifted me. But let me see. We're at 14 minutes. Let me show one more replay. Yes, another quick one for you. I mean, you love seeing the Dear Servant, Mill 5. I switched his engine up eventually. I prefer Jesse Khan was messing around with the Maximus, or I forgot what the other one is, and I took out Dogmatic Punishment in this one because you do want to go into your extra. Oh wait, yeah, this is when I start switching. Oh well, this will be a bonus one of when I switch to the laundry one. Fuck it. So that's pretty fun, right? I got an extra 3 mils off of that laundry being special summon off that reasoning. So I milled for a fuck ton. Gonna try to just send something. They chain it. I'm like, oh cool, I get a free butler effect. And I have Daruma, because since I already have a transaction grave, I'm like, this is like beyond Joer. So this will be a little hint for what the next video is going to be. This Paleo with the, what's his name, Yuri was using that he topped with, that Josh has been playing with. So I instantly popped the Lulu Wall Lilith, because I don't want them to do anything. I was like, fuck, I just want to get rid of this right away. I don't want anything leaving the extra deck so they can start negating my stuff. Even though my Paleos aren't worried about it. I don't care if Dogmatic gets negated. It didn't really matter too much, but I just want to get rid of it. And I got a second pop for the Taya, and then they had a Taya in hand since they have it normal summoned. I'm like, well, what do you think this is, buddy? Transaction rollback. That's why we sent the Daruma. Get rid of that token too. And they normaled. And that's GG. So we end on another quick one. I think I'll cap the replays there for now because the rest are going to be that cool other, Paleo stuff I've been using. And then I'll just show you the deck list really, really quickly, as quick as I can for a 60 card list. So this is the name of the Labrynth one, Cinnabar Island, because we reviving fossils up in this bitch. Pokemon players will understand because we're in the lab and we're cooking with fossils. We're bringing them back. We're reviving. So this is pretty standard. Absolute King backcheck. If it's sent, you could reorganize the top few cards of their deck. On your opponent's turn, you could banish it from the grave. This is when it's sent to the grave. And then you could banish it for the other effect on your opponent's turn. And if you mill a trap or you excavate a trap, you could set it to your field. You could use it that turn. So it's kind of like a Coup Clock or a Arion, or not, or a Butler in that way. Speaking of which, I keep 1 Butler. I was initially at 3, then I was like, nope, that's way too bricky. Then I went to 2, and I was like, this is still a little bricky. And we'll see, it's optional at 1. I think maybe you could argue to run 2 in the Labrynth version, but you don't want too many monsters if you're still relying on reasoning. And like I said, there might be a whole other version I might make in the future where it'll be 40 card Labrynth and then 20 card Paleos and then no reasoning, and then just see from there if that could work. And then just like hope to mill off of the Nadir Servant engine, as well as like Foolish Burial, Reliant Pot of Desires, and stuff like that. We'll see. As I'm talking about it, like it's really dependent on the Nadir Servant or Needlebug's Nest to mill. Maybe it could benefit from the Laundry Dragon Maid package, actually, now that I think about it. But I digress. 2 Stove, because it's a level 2 and it synergizes with the Paleos. I took out the Chandelier because, again, you don't want too many monsters if you're running Reasoning. But if you don't care about Reasoning, then you could put it in the furniture. This is the Maximus engine that I eventually switched up to because I took out Dogmatic Punishment. I don't like being locked out of my extra deck, with the exception of Nadir Servant, because you are not going to be going into your extra deck the turn that you use Nadir Servant, right, if you're going first or second. Although Punishment, you will, and then it'll lock you out for that next turn still. So that's really rough for fucking Paleos. You don't want that. So that's why I took out the Dogmatic Punishment and the Ecclesia engine. Reasoning, it's the fucking mill deck. Obviously, the 2 different ladies that we have here, just one of each. I still open up with her and fucking playing this, as you guys saw. It is what it is. Pot of Desires, because why not? Try to draw 10. Foolish Burial Goods, because why not? Try to send rollback. Or anything else if we already have rollback. Grass is pretty straightforward. We're playing 60. I already talked about the Nadir engine, but essentially you would send Kit Kolos, as you guys saw, and then mill 5, so it's pretty much like a Needle's Bug Nest on your turn. It's really fucking good. And on top of that, with Maximus, you search out Maximus, you banish this, special summon Maximus, and then you can use Maximus's effect to send 2. Each player sends 2, so it's actually like pretty powerful against a deck like Snake Eyes that relies on their extra deck. If you send 2 to the grave, you could send Gabrua and you could send the Fergie or whatever, and it's pretty much you draw 1 from this, you draw 1, and you put 1 at the bottom of your deck. So it's like draw 2, put 1 at the bottom. It's like pretty fucking good. It's almost like that Rescue Ace card. Was it airlifter. So it's really, really, really fucking powerful. And I got that from Jesse Cotton. So Trap Tantalizing Tune. That's again, you want things that are gonna be able to discard the brick cards in your hand, or maybe just get Paleos in grave. So that usually is gonna be transactions gonna be the first target, but usually Paleos as well. Boku because you want to live. Just one torrential for now. I'm still figuring it out. I'm also experimenting with Eradicator. I didn't use it in those replays, but theoretically it could be good. I might just take it out because we might not always have a lovelier lady on the field. Needles of Book Nest, Mill 5. Ferret Flames is fucking hilarious. I didn't put it until after those replays, but it puts in work. You'll see my regular Paleo video. Olenoids is MST. Canadia is Book. Donomicious is Discard, Banish 1. So, that's why I don't like having 3. I fought it bricking on it. Morella is the Foolish Burial Goods. Leon Coelia is the one that brings back a card from the banished. You can also bring back face down banished cards of yours or your opponents, but you don't want to do that. Rise of White. I am slowly taking this out. I don't fucking like this card. It pretty much you guys saw it when I used it to get rid of I think clock that game, and then when the card that you use to target with this leaves the field, then they can't attack anything. But I don't think it's that good. Evenly matched, I think it's better than what a lot of people like Josh says, because you're still going to need something going second, and it is dangerous when it hits the grave with transaction rollback. Trap Trick is pretty obvious. We have a lot of 2-0s and 3-0s. IDP, this could go if you feel like you don't need this many aggressive cards. But I still like it at 2 for Trap Trick. And then Daruma, I mean, you're going to need 3. If you're running any type of trap deck, you're always going to want DTKC. This shit's book everything. 2 big welcome Labrynth instead of 3. 3 was too bricky. 2 feels okay for now, and 3 transactions pretty straightforward. Copy effect from the grave. We have the pretty standard Paleo extra deck, Zeus package, Link Karibo as you guys saw for if you open Absolute King Backjack, and then Coral Anemone, because if you go Camper Raster again from Yuri's list, you do this. And then you go into Coral Anemone, and then Coral Anemone brings this back, and you can go into Zealantis, and then you're waterlocked, and you fucking get rid of their whole field, your opponent's whole field, and you don't special summon it back. And now SP Little Knight's in the game, so I threw this in there, and then Muckracker could revive a Fiend. So that was a long-ass fucking me talking about the deck list. Jesus Christ, just skip past this shit. You guys know what the fuck Paleos are. Like, comment, subscribe, motherfuckers.